Hello there, it's Carrie Rhodes here. Welcome back to the Trinity Stamps YouTube channel. Today I am making a Christmas shaker tag. This is part of the 12 days of Christmas tags with Trinity Stamps design team. You can see all of the days on the Trinity Stamps Instagram page, which is just Trinity Stamps. So come find us and follow us on Instagram. I'm using the Tip and Sip coffee shaker die set. This is the die that makes the shaker that I'm holding in my right hand there, and it's going to allow you to tip it and like hide the little shaker elements. Here's all the die cut pieces. That particular shaker die piece I die cut from some lightweight white chipboard 6 times to be the layers that are going to build up the thickness for my coffee cup there. I have one from cardstock that'll be the cover, and then you can see I have my decorative pieces, the little wrap part and the little circle, and then the background. Now for the front piece that is the cover, I am putting a solid on the back that is cut from a window sheet and gluing that in place so none of my little shaker bits can escape. So I'm going to allow this to dry for a few minutes because it is plastic on paper, and so we need to let that dry. I'll put a heavy block on that and just let it set for a minute while I work on attaching all of these 6 pieces together from my lightweight chipboard, and that's going to get built up and be nice and thick. I am trying to be super careful and make sure these are all lined up really well, and it just seems no matter how hard I try, there's always a little spot where some are off, just a fraction of a hair. So don't worry if that happens to you. It's not very noticeable. Just, do your best, but building up these die cut layers works really well for pieces like this that are kind of hard to add foam tape to, but that's also an option. So now on this last or 6th layer of my shaker pieces, the shaker layers, I added a hole, and I'm tying loosely on a piece of baker's twine, and that's going to turn this into a tag and have that string kind of be hidden. So I'll show you how I work around this little bump of the string. All right, so I'm gluing that into place, that 6th layer, and then I'm going to make sure this is nice and dry, and so I'll set that under a heavy block for a little bit, especially that top corner with the baker's twine. I really want to make sure that's set well. Now I'm making a little groove here, and that's where I'm going to glue the top string down into that little groove, just so there's not too big of a bump where this twine is coming out, and I put that groove right next to where the twine is coming out on the back side instead of right on top of it. So we're going to move all of those things to the side, and I'm going to do some ink blending for the background. Now, not a lot of this is going to show. You could really just do one color, but I love ink blending and I like making my own backgrounds, so that's what I'm doing. I have tea dye, gathered twigs, and ground espresso for my 3 different colors, giving this somewhat of an ombre look, although you don't really see the middle layer. You really just see the dark layer and the lighter layer at the top. So you could totally get away with just doing 2 colors on this one. And I am using my Blending Buddy brush here from Trinity Stamps. And so because this is dedicated to brown, I can use all 3 colors. I just like to start with my lightest color and work my way towards the darkest. Okay, so now I am attaching that shaker layer to my background layer, and then you can see how some of this is going to be covered up there like that. Okay, so now it's time to add our shaker bits. These are the Peppermint Shaker Pop. I love these beads for this shaker die. So I'm using a little spoon to spoon these in, and I put a lot in. I got a little carried away. I shouldn't have put any in that middle section. I just put a little too much in there. It kind of ruins that shaker, the tip and sip mechanism of this shaker, which I'll show you on another sample that I already made so you can kind of see what I mean. But here I am putting some double-sided adhesive tape, or rip and stick tape, on either side of that twine, and that's going to make sure that my little bow or twine there is really sandwiched into this shaker. All right, I'm adding some liquid glue to this, and I already put down some double-sided adhesive. So this is going to stick down really well onto my tag, but I really want to make sure that it's going to stay in place. So I am going to set this under that heavy block once again and give it some time, and there it is. So now I'm just checking where the twine is coming out, squeezing in a little bit of glue and just making sure everything is nice and snug right there. All right, now it is time to get a little decorative. So I have this reindeer head, which is from this coffee cup sleeve die set. This can make a reindeer, a snowman, a penguin, and a Santa that you can put on an actual mug. Like this one that I made last year for the Trinity Stamps 12 Days of Christmas. That inspired me to make this one. That was an actual miniature coffee cup. You can buy those miniature coffee cups on Amazon and then add this sleeve to it. And it's so cute to put a few chocolates in, hang it on the tree, or make it part of a little gift. It's just fun to do. So this one is inspired by that one, but now it's going to be a tag. And I love having tags for my family that I can reuse. And they know I have a little baggie, and I just put all of their tags at the end of Christmas morning in the baggie and save it for next year. And then I can pull them out and reuse them. And I just love that. So this is definitely going to be one of those. Now I did my reindeer so that the antlers are a different color. They're kind of a lighter brown, but also that cardstock is shimmery. So I thought it was really fun. I topped the little holes, instead of paper piecing in the eyes, I put some black-eyed beads from Trinity Stamps on for the eyes, and then I'm going to use a red bauble there for the nose, and he is so cute. All right, for the sleeve, this is some pattern paper that I had in my stash, and then this die has like a little bump out on the side, so you can line up that sleeve perfectly, and it kind of hides that tip and sip mechanism, which I think is really cool because it gives a little bit of that secretive element, kind of not knowing how the beads disappeared and how they fall back into the opening there. But you know, because you saw that little arm that kind of catches them. So it's a really cool die set. Okay, so I decided to change the lid to black. It just went better. And also in that mug sleeve set, there is a little miniature tag. I'm going to add that with this holiday tag helper stamp set. And I'm using this stamp that has the to and from on it with the lines, but there's lots of different to and froms in this particular stamp set, and that is really great for making tags. All right, so I am going to untie my twine and add my miniature tag to that, and it's going to tie on perfectly, and I'm going to be able to reuse this for years to come. So I'm going to go ahead and secure this down to my mug so it doesn't hang and it isn't loose. But that is another fun look. You could leave this loose if you want. Another way to help secure that little miniature tag is to tie my twine at the base of the twine in a double knot like I'm doing here, and then also at the top, so that miniature tag doesn't float around as much and it won't as easily get ripped off. And here I'm adding some rip and stick tape to the back, and if you know me, you know that I have to have lots of adhesive. So it's going to stay, especially because this is something that's going to be put up in my super hot attic for the season or the off season and then come back down. So I'm going to make sure it's going to stay intact. I have these holly and berry confetti pieces I'm going to add as a decorative element here. So I'm just adding the leaves there and making sure that the embossed side is face up, so the bumpy part of the leaf is face up, but you could really put it either way, just whatever you're feeling up to. And then 3 of those glossy beautiful berries at the top. I love this embellishment mix because you don't use very much and there's a ton in there, so you can have this pack of embellishments for years and always be able to add holly and berries to anything. I'm going to add a couple more baubles to either side of that reindeer element, and it just finishes off the look of the front of this tag. But I could not leave the back alone, so we'll get to that. But I want to show you first how this like shaker mechanism works on here so you can get a real feel for it. And I'm going to show you that with one I already made for Halloween. So here you can see I'm trying to like kind of hide those little shaker pop beads, and there's less there, and then tip it again and I can refill it back up. But it's kind of hard to tell because I used so many beads on that one. So check out this Halloween one. When you tip it, you can collect those beads in that center section. And then you can tip it again and they fall back in. When you add on that middle sleeve section, it kind of hides it. So the recipient doesn't really know what happened to the little shaker beads, right? They disappear. And if you keep moving it around and tipping it, you can get it to fill back up. So it's really fun. It's a really fun concept. So I wanted to show you that one so you knew what I was talking about. Okay, for the back side of my tag, I die cut all the pieces again. The solid mug or cup piece, the lid, and the sleeve. And I stamped Merry Christmas from that same holiday tag helper stamp set. It's really scripty and cute. And then that lid in black, and that's going to, first of all, cover up the back of my tag because I did get a little bit of that ink from doing the ink blending kind of smudged onto the back side. So it's going to cover that up. Plus it's just going to give that a polished look on the back. And you know, this could even be like an ornament, right? I love that when you have like something that's a tag that can also be an ornament. But definitely this is going to be a reusable tag. This could really dress up a gift bag in particular. I love these for a gift tag on a bag because it's a good size. This will easily fill up the front of your like A2 size card. So another great way to use this is on a card, but also like I showed you here, turning it into a tag. So I hope you enjoyed this video. You are having fun checking out the 12 days of Christmas tags with Trinity Stamps on Instagram. Come over there and find us and like all the things. It really inspires our designers to know that you guys like their creations. So thank you so much for watching today. I hope you'll come back again very soon for another Trinity Stamps video. I'll see you then. Happy stamping. Bye.